Every single day, thousands of Roblox games are released, but only a few of them actually go viral. And most of these games that go viral are absolute slop. I mean, if you took one look at the front page, you'll see what I mean. Mango. So that got me thinking, if games like these can get thousands of players, then can I make a viral Roblox game in just 24 hours? Well, today I'm going to find out. In only 24 hours, I have to script, build, and create a fully playable game. Then I'm going to spend over 50,000 Robux to advertise it. And if the game doesn't get at least 100 active players, then... So yeah, it's time to get started and get into... Okay, the time has started. Let's get into a new base play and... I don't know what to do. So yeah, if I want this game to actually go viral, I need a good idea. So let's go look at Roblox for some inspiration. And after scrolling through Roblox for a while, I found this game called Throw Stuff for Money, which has a pretty simple core loop. You drop items for money, you use said money to buy upgrades like your tower or purchase better items, and you make even more money. Now this is already a pretty good idea, but we can't just copy it one-to-one, which is why I like to do something called the pinch and twist method.
What?
So you guys know how literally every game on Roblox has... And if you don't know what they are, these are called brainrots, and for some reason every kid is obsessed with them. So we're going to use this to our advantage. Essentially, instead of the players dropping items off a building for money, they'll need to drop brainrots instead to earn their money, and that's the idea. So now that we had our concept, I could actually start working on the game, leading to the first thing I had to create, which is the tower and we'll make this look better later. I then proceeded to make a couple of them because how this system will work is when a player joins, they'll be assigned to one of these towers. So I got straight to work scripting this plot system thing, and after a bit of time... Oh, no way it works. Let's go. That's already one system down. With that out of the way, it was time to move on to something everyone's waiting for. But first, we need brainrot models, and at first I tried making my own and... Bro, what did I make? So yeah, I'm terrible at modeling these type of things, and there's no way I'll have enough time to model all the brainrots that are needed for this game. And I actually thought it was cooked. Like, there's no way I'm gonna... Wait, what's this?
Hey, want a free brainrot pack?
Huh? Bro, what?
Also sub to Noodle.
Yo, there's no way some guy just gave me this brainrot pack for free and they're all rigged. Well, I guess that solves that issue. The next thing I did was hopped on a program called Figma, and I made this nice little GUI and then I imported it into Roblox. Players are gonna use this GUI to spawn the brainrots, and later on it will contain all of them. But for now, I did a bit more scripting and I got the basis of the system working. So now if you own the brainrot and you click the button, it spawns it and you can pick it up using this proximity prompt, and then you click this button to drop it. Wow, this game is actually genius, bro. And with that, we had another core system done, and all it took me was... Okay, so the dropping works now, but I realized it was pretty boring because all you could really do was watch your brainrot fall. So I wanted to spice some things up by first attaching the player's camera to the model while it falls so they can watch their brainrot fall to their death, and by also adding something called ragdolls to the game. But I don't know how to do that, so... And how these new features work is essentially the player's camera gets attached to the model's humanoid, and the model's joints get temporarily broken, which causes it to ragdoll. So now when the brainrot is dropped, you can watch it fall and it ragdolls. In my opinion, this is much better. Moving on, the next thing that I wanted to tackle was the money system. But in order to make the system, I first needed to make a way for the players to control their brainrots in the air. This is so they could try to hit objects like rocks, trees, and buildings, and depending on the type of object they hit, they make more money. But the issue is I've never tried to make something like this before, and I have no clue what I'm doing because I'm just a little... I don't know what I was doing, but I just kept trying random stuff. And trying. And... Bro, why is nothing working?
Why don't you just read the player's inputs, then use a vector force at the object's center of mass to push it to the direction that they want?
Bro, you're a lemon!
Nah. I'm not just an ordinary lemon. I'm Lemonade, the first AI coding tool for Roblox Studio. I can teach, fix bugs, speed up your coding, and be your literal scripter.
Wait, that actually sounds amazing.
And that's not the only thing. I also connect directly to Roblox Studio, so you don't have to keep copy and pasting code like you do with ChatGPT. And instead, all it takes is one prompt and I can make an entire system for you in a matter of seconds.
That sounds way too good to be true.
It really isn't. All you have to do is go to lemonade.gg. It's the first link in the description.
Nah, but for real, big thanks to Lemonade for sponsoring this video. But even if they didn't sponsor, I would still recommend this website to you guys. So with the help of this tool, I finally got this mechanic working. And I'm not even gonna try to pretend like I know what's going on here because I don't. But now it actually works and that's all that matters, right? Anyways, when the player drops the brainrot now, they can finally control it in the air. But now it was time to make the original purpose of this entire system. The money. So I went ahead and created a cash leader stats and a GUI that shows how much you have. And with a little bit of work, I made it so when the brainrot touches something, it makes money, and every object has its own money multiplier. So for example, when I hit this rock, I make more money than when I hit the floor. And after all this work, I think we can safely say that this system is complete. But I realized other than purchasing better brainrots, the players really had nothing else to buy. So I wanted the players to be able to upgrade the height of their towers. How this tower upgrading works is when the player walks over this button in their plot, essentially their entire tower model gets destroyed and a new one is placed. And just like that, we got it working. So when the player walks over this, a transition happens and their tower gets upgraded. Lastly, I thought it would be cool if the players could tell how high they are in the sky, so I hopped back on Figma and made this bar and then imported it into Roblox and got it working. After I finished making all this, I was like, I'm on a roll, and my motivation to complete this challenge was at an all-time high until I looked at the clock and realized it was already... So it's hour 13, and I mean we basically have the core loop done, the dropping and money works, and tower upgrade working as well, but we're missing one massive thing. And I think you all know what that... Wait, why'd it turn dark? Wait, y'all hear that over there? What's that sound? Wait, no, sorry, no, what I did? Oh my god, that hurt, bro. What was that for? I think he's gone. Please be gone. Wait, no! We're missing the map. Okay, I think I have a pretty good idea for this map. This is the player's tower, right? And this is the ground. It's gonna go straight. Also ignore my amazing drawing skills. But then it's gonna go down like this, then straight, and then down once more. And notice how it's like a giant hill. And this first layer will have simple objects like trees and rocks. The second layer will have better things like houses. And this last layer will have a full-on city. And each layer will earn more money than the previous one. But now that we had a plan for the map, it was time to actually start building it. Okay, first I think we need to place this, and then a little bit of this, and a bit of that. Yeah, I have no words. Like, I don't even know what this... Okay, bro, I'm just gonna, Yeah, if you couldn't tell, my terrain skills are absolutely horrid. And that clip was even a joke, bro. I was being for real. I still wanted to use terrain so I could make an actual good looking map, but Roblox's default terrain editor was not going to cut it. But then I remembered something. Back in the days when I was a little kid and new to studio, I used to use a plugin which turned Roblox terrain into low poly terrain. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically this. But for the life of me, I just could not remember what the name of the plugin was. And I swear, it was right at the tip of my tongue. So I did a bit of digging through my old Roblox games, and I found this game that I made years ago. Holy, this game is actually ancient, what the heck? And it wasn't really a game because I had no clue how to make anything else other than building back then. It was more of like me just messing around building. And I'm not trying to glaze myself, but low-key, for an 11-year-old, this was not bad. Okay, but let's not get distracted. If you look closely at the terrain, you can see it's smooth and voluptuous. So I ended up doing a bit more digging, and I eventually came across this plugin called Altrazin's terrain plugin. And what this plugin does is if I click one of these black dots, it creates a triangle, and it's very easy to make low poly terrain like this. So now all I had to do was just start building, right? Well, let me just show you guys. Okay, so I just finished up with the map, which puts us over halfway done with this challenge already. And in my opinion, for the amount of time that I had, this is actually not that bad. And obviously, I didn't use the entire 5 hours. Half of that time, I was probably just on my phone scrolling through TikTok. But if you look closely at the right, you'll see that there's basically no brain rots. And if you look even closer, this whole game is about brain rots, so we kind of need to add more. So I went ahead and added a total of 14 new brain rots to the game. Yeah, these guys look so weird, bro. I swear kids be liking anything these days. Then I had to configure and balance all of the brain rots I just added, which took a little bit of time. And eventually I got all of the brain rots working, configured and balanced. But then I came across a slight issue. Basically, for some reason, some of the models' physics were messed up, so when they hit the floor, they would just start tweaking out, and I had no clue why. So I did a bit of digging and I found out it's because of the model's weirdly shaped humanoid root part, which would cause it to tweak out. So I went ahead and rescaled every brainrot's HRP to match its size, which surprisingly fixed the issue. But now if you take a look at the brainrot spawning GUI to the right, you'll see that it looks really ugly. And that's because there's no icons right now to display which brainrot is which. So at first I tried making my own by screenshotting it, editing it, and then uploading to Roblox. But I realized that's gonna take way too long to do it for all of the brain rots. So instead, I settled to use something called a viewport frame, and it's in the name. It just displays what's in the model to a frame. And it definitely doesn't look the best, but for the sake of time, I had no other choice. The last thing I added was brain rot unlocking, because right now there wasn't much progression, so after some scripting, players can now unlock them using the money they earned, and each one costs more and more than the previous one. Bro, this challenge is so easy. I'm basically almost done. We're finally in the home stretch of this challenge. We're so close to finishing it, but I was not locked in. I would literally be playtesting the game, but then I look at the time and realize an hour's gone by already. I mean, that could show that the game's fun, but who knows. However, there was only one important thing left to do. Hey, wait, bring the camera back up here.
Hello, I like money. I like money. I like money.
Monetization. It's an important aspect to every game's success. Okay, maybe not that. So to get some inspiration, I went back on Throw Stuff for Money to check out how they monetize the game. Okay, so you can use Robux to upgrade the height of your tower, and you can also use Robux to purchase more cash. Okay, low-key, I think I'm just gonna copy this word for word. So I got back to work and I made it so players can now double their money after every run using Robux, and made cash purchasable with Robux as well. Lastly, I made it so players can now upgrade the height of their towers using Robux, and every time you upgrade, it increases in price. This is actually genius, bro. There was only 1 hour left to the challenge, and I still had a lot to do, like polishing up the game and making the thumbnail. I first started by making these leaderboards work, which shows who has the most money and drops. I then added group rewards, which gives you free money when you join the group, and I added sound effects. Okay, that sounds a little brutal. Then for the icing on the cake, I finished it up by creating this thumbnail. I was trying to go for a more minimalistic design with this thumbnail, but I had to speedrun through it because I had like no time, so it still looks pretty bad. And I think with that, the game is finally done. But to get players, I need to advertise it first. And if you remember at the start of the video, I said I'm going to spend 50k Robux on ads. Yeah, 50k Robux is a lot of money. You know, I could probably convert that to real life money, but no. I'm going to spend it all on ads. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to do this. Y'all better subscribe. So let's go and make our first campaign just to test this thumbnail, and I'll check back when it's done. Alright, so the first campaign just finished with an okay CTR, I guess, but I'll keep buying more campaigns and I'll check back after I've spent all my ad credits. Okay, so it's been a while since I've checked up on the game or the ads, so it's time to check if we reached our goal of 100. We're so off our goal. So yeah, unfortunately the game flopped. We are 63 players short from 100, and so that means I failed this challenge. But do I regret it? Yeah, kind of. I kind of just wasted like 50k Robux, but whatever. But I learned a valuable lesson. Failing is completely normal in game development. It's not a one day do it all type of thing. Every flop, every fail, it all stacks up into experience. And that experience is what actually makes you better. You don't get a viral game by luck. You get it by trying, failing, and learning. So yeah, this game failed, but this will be my last one. The only real failure is quitting, and I'm nowhere. Okay, that's enough from you, buddy. Please subscribe, I'm broke now.